Ready? Everybody? Good evening. Welcome to the ninth meeting of the year. Today is June 23rd, 2025. Alyssa, can you please read the publication?
In compliance with Chapter 231 of Public Law 1975, notice of this meeting to be held at the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, has been published in the Home News Tribune on January 5th, 2025, posted on the Municipal Building Bulletin Board, the Borough website, the front door of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River.
Roll call.
Mayor Gindi?
Here.
Councilman Ballas?
Here.
Councilman DeSantis?
Here.
Councilman DeZemian's not here. Councilman Giannakopoulos?
Here.
Councilman Gerczynski?
Here.
Council President Siula?
Here. Please stand for the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing for a moment of silence. You may be seated. We have no proclamations. Agenda session, we have 5 for second reading. Art, can you please?
The first two are dealing with the state regulations for lead paint inspections for multifamily housing.
Okay, Joe?
The next two are ordinances. They are for purchasing trucks for DPW, assault shed, various equipment for police and fire, improvements to Volunteers Park, and then roads, Prentice, Tyson, Cleveland Avenue, and then purchasing computer equipment, and then water improvements.
Thank you. Andrew?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, 2025-21 is approving a financial agreement with 55 Main Street.
Okay. Then for first reading, Andrew, would you like to?
Sure, 2025-22, it's an amendment to your boards, commissions, and authorities. It's basically creating what we're calling a redevelopment committee. It is a list of appointed officials that are going to review redevelopment projects and give recommendations to the governing body on their thoughts to move forward, if they'd like things to get changed, those type of issues.
All right, thank you. Alyssa, can you please read 2025-17 for second reading?
Ordinance 2025-17, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 258 entitled Property Maintenance.
Make a motion to waive the full reading.
Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, seconded by Councilwoman Ballas.
All in favor?
Aye. I'd like to open it up to the public. You have 5 minutes, state your name. First call, second call.
Motion to close public.
Motion by Council President Seola, seconded by Councilwoman Ballas.
All in favor?
Council discussion. Do I have a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Ballas.
Second.
Second by Councilman Gerczynski.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman Giannakopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gerczynski?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes.
Alyssa, 2025-18.
Ordinance 2025-18, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 155 of the Borough Code entitled Fees.
Make a motion to waive the full reading.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilman Gerczynski.
All in favor?
I'd like to also open this to the public. First call, second call.
Motion to close public.
Motion by Council President Seola.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Ballas.
All in favor?
Aye.
Council discussion. Do I have a motion? Motion to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Gerczynski, second by Council President Seola.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman Giannakopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gerczynski?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes.
Listen, 2025-19.
Ordinance 2025-19, bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements and the acquisition of various capital equipment, appropriating $1,575,000 bond therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,014,682 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the Borough of South River and the County of Middlesex, New Jersey.
Motion to waive full reading.
Motion by Council President Seola. First call, second call.
Motion to close public.
Motion by Council President President Seola. Second by Councilman Krasinski.
All in favor?
I'd like to open this council discussion. Motion to adopt. Motion by Councilwoman Ballas, second by Councilman DeSantis.
Councilwoman Ballas? Yes. Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
List of 2025-20.
Ordinance 2025-20, bond ordinance providing for improvements to the water treatment, storage, and distribution system, appropriating $950,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $900,000 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the Borough of South River in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey.
Motion to waive the full reading.
Second. Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilman DeSantis.
All in favor?
Let's open this to the public. First call.
Good evening, everyone. This is Joe Donato, 30 Davison Street, South River. This bond, of course, with the water mains, is this also going to go towards the replacement of the water mains in town?
It's everything. It has water mains. It also has the building that's down by the water treatment plant. I think the roof collapsed, right, Art? This has some money going towards that, and then also valves and hydrants and everything else, so it's almost a multi-purpose for the water department.
But some of this building is going to be going towards the replacement of the water mains.
Thank you, Mr. Donato. Anyone else from the public? First call. Second call.
Motion to close public.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilman Krasinski.
All in favor?
Council discussion. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Council President Seola,
Second.
second by Councilman Krasinski.
Councilwoman Ballas? Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
List of 2025-21.
Ordinance 2025-21, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, adopting the financial agreement under NJSA 40A:20-1 et sec, and authorizing tax exemption and payment in lieu of taxes with 55 Main Street Urban Renewal LLC.
Motion to waive full reading.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilman Krasinski.
All in favor?
I'd like to open this to the public. First call. Second call.
Motion to close public.
Motion by Council President Seola,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Ballas.
All in favor?
Do I have a council discussion? Do I have a motion? Motion to accept. Motion by Councilman Krasinski, second by Councilman DeSantis.
Councilwoman Ballas? Yes. Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
So we're going to go to the first reading. First reading for ordinances, 2025-2022.
Ordinance 2025-22, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code, the Borough of South River, so as to amend Chapter 22 entitled Boards, Commissions, and Authorities.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2025-22 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law with a second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on July the 21st, 2025, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
Motion by Councilman President Seola, second by Councilwoman Ballas.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
We're going to go on to reports. CME, Alex.
Thank you, Mayor. The NJDOT fiscal year 2023 local aid program and NJDOT fiscal year 2024 local aid program. The borough received a grant of $681,405 for Leonard Reed Avenue from the Old Woods Turnpike to Grand Avenue and Barrel Street from Cleveland Avenue to Wilcox Avenue. The NJDOT was awarded the borough a grant in the amount of $606,980 for the improvements of Barrel Street from Virginia Street to Bright Street, Daly Street from Ferris Street to John Street, and John Street from Colfax Street to George Street. The contractor has completed the sanitary sewer repairs. Leonard Dean Avenue has been milled and paved. The contractor milled and paved the remaining roads last week. NJDOT fiscal year 2023 local transportation project grant. The borough received a $575,000 grant for the improvement to Alborn Street from Ferris Street to 2nd Avenue, Franklin Street from Wilson Avenue to Pulaski Avenue, and Olszewski Avenue from Cam Avenue to Prentice Avenue. CME is resubmitting the plans and bid documents to the NJDOT for review. NJDOT fiscal year 2025 local aid program. The borough received a $506,913 grant for the following roads: Prentice Avenue from Willard Avenue to Sheldon Avenue, Tice Avenue from the Old Bridge Turnpike to David Street, Cleveland Avenue from Virginia Street to the terminus. And we submitted a proposal for professional services associated with same. 2023 electrical substation maintenance. We closed out the project and are working on a proposal for this year's work. NJDEP stormwater assistance grant application. Our survey department is currently working on this year's portion of the project. And the NJDOT municipal aid applications. We are working on the grant application for Mercer Street, Lion Street, and Mitchell Avenue.
Thank you. Council, you have anything for CME? Thank you. CFO Joe?
A couple of resolutions. We have two Chapter 159s for grants. We received a Clean Community Grant after the budget was adopted for $37,250.52. And we also have the Chapter 159 for the Green Acres $750,000 grant for Volunteers Park. We finally got approval from them, so we're doing a resolution to put that in the budget this year. Also have a resolution to purchase a bucket truck under a co-op. This was provided for the 2025 electric budget. Resolution to lease the copy machine and Office on Aging. Their lease expired, so we're renewing the lease. And last thing is resolution to provide demand relief that we do every year for the nonprofits in the school. So that's on for approval too. Begins July 1st and September 30th.
Thank you. Council, you have anything? Page, DPW.
Yes, this Saturday, the 28th, is our paper shred event down at the DPW yard, 9 away from 9 to 12. Also, Friday, July 4th, will be closed for the holiday, no bulk pickup. So,
Council, you have anything for age? Fire chief.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Currently, you will see two resolutions on the docket for tonight. Number 190 for Thomas Lucas as a firefighter for South River Fire Department. He will be assigned to Summit Engine Company. And 191, appointment of James Morin to firefighter for South River Fire Department, and he will also be appointed to Reliable Engine Company. We are on track this year moving forward. All units are being serviced, no issues. All units are in service as well. This Saturday, between 9:30 a.m. and probably 2:30 p.m., we did have a previous approval on a resolution to have a boot drive fundraiser for the fire department. So you will see us on the corner of East Prospect and also Old Bridge Turnpike collecting.
Thank you. Council, anything for the fire chief? Andrew?
I have nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alyssa?
Nothing tonight.
Art?
Just two things there on the consent resolutions. You'll see 206, that's authorizing the execution of agreement with Middlesex County for the South River waterfront. That's Grokowski Park, the portion of Grokowski Park that belongs to the county, and this is renewing our lease with them for the next 20, I think it is, Joe. 20 years.
20 or 30.
And the last one is Resolution 212, authorizing water contract replacement HVAC system. That's for the museum. Work will start on Thursday. Their HVAC is completely out. We had an order of parts we got as fast as we could. Thursday, the vendor who got awarded the contract will start work.
All right, I'd like to open this, actually, sorry, let me go to the council first. Councilman Krasinski.
Thank you, Mayor. Office on Aging is going to have their real ID coming up this Wednesday. The program is actually closed and filled up rather quickly. I believe they're going to try to implement another session for the real ID locally here in town. Aside from that, I have nothing else.
Thank you. Councilman Ballas?
I have really nothing from my committees, but I went to the South River Library website today, and there's just so many summer programs there that the list is very long. I advise people go to that website. They're doing a lot of family-oriented. They want to do family portrait night. Bring your family, paint your own pictures, do it week by week, and then they're going to have an exhibit for that. But there's a really a lot of things to do this summer at the library, and their little patio is open also now. So if you want to go out there and read a a book or just get some peacetime, they'll let you out the back door and you can sit there for a little while and watch nature. And that's all I have.
Councilman DeSantis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations to the class of 2025 and all the students moving up. Hopefully they have a great summer. I was at the Board of Education. The next Board of Education meeting is Monday, July 24th at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium. For the Recreation Advisory Board, we have a couple things that are open right now. One of them is Hoops with Hank, which is with Councilman Hank Tazemian. He's going to be doing a free instructional clinic at Leonardine Park on 3 Saturdays in July. So that is now open on the website to sign up for. Again, it's at Shine Fine Park, or Leonardine as most of us would call it. And it's the 3 Saturdays in July, starting the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. And Hank is doing this free of charge, and you can register on the Borough website. Also, visit the Borough website to register for Pop Warner Football and Cheer. The end of summer fireworks will be August 22nd at the high school football field, and the rain date is the 23rd. It's Friday night for the first date, and then the Saturday night for the rain date. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Krasinski. Janikopoulos.
Yes, Mayor. So this 4th of July is a Friday. There'll be no bulk pickup. I just want to remind everyone about that. The shred event is this Saturday between 9 and 12. That's June 28th at 9 Ivan Way. You could bring all your documents that you need shredded. We'll be down there doing that. And just letting everyone know that we're still doing pothole repairs. We had a lot of rain, so we got backed up with days that we just couldn't go out there and do it. So the DPW is still out there repairing potholes, just letting people know that that's something that's still going on. And that's all I got now. And happy 4th of July, I guess, to everyone. It's our nation's birthday coming up.
Council
My group's gonna meet in June, so we won't have a meeting until July, so I really have nothing to bring up.
I'll hold off on mine. I'd like to open this to the public. You have 5 minutes. State your name and your address.
Councilman Tiger, 44 Third Street. Last meeting I came and asked about parking permit plans that were recommended by the planner, and whether or not the council is compliant with those, or do you have your own plans? I was wondering, seemed to indicate that the attorney was going to look into that, and I haven't heard anything myself, so I'm here asking if there's an update.
Not yet, we're still working.
So you're still working on finding out whether or not you're complying with our planner's plan? Is that?
We're working on the
So you don't know whether you're complying with our planner's recommendations or not?
I believe that we are, but we're still working on it.
And any way to know like when the work will be done, and we'll find out whether or not
I can have
we
the next council.
whether council meeting, whether the mayor and council care about our professionals and what they were recommending, or whether they have their own way. The next council meeting for sure?
For sure, July 21st.
So this new redevelopment advisory committee, are their meetings going to be opened up to the public?
Probably not.
Probably not. So it's going to be secret meetings by the
Not a
mayor.
secret meeting.
Can the public attend the meeting? Will the minutes be available to the meeting?
We would have minutes on what we spoke about to the council, yes.
So I could request the minutes
Absolutely.
of all the meetings, like the private meetings with the developers and stuff.
Absolutely.
But the public meeting, it won't be any public meeting. This is a committee, you're going to appoint everybody.
That's correct.
It's going to be you, the councilman, it's going to be somebody from the
Land use.
land use and two other people.
That's correct.
What exactly is the difference between what that committee is going to do and the Economic Development Commission?
So the Economic Development Commission only deals with the businesses of the town. That's all they do. They don't help build in a building. They don't help construct a establishment. That's what the Economic Development Commission does. So
So the Economic Development Commission doesn't make recommendations to the council
for structure, no.
about what should be done as far as businesses and stuff?
No,
So that's not in the ordinance?
they do recommendations for business, not for construction, not for redevelopment. It's totally two different entities.
So the ordinance doesn't say that the Economic Development Commission should make recommendations on how the town should proceed with economic development, which of course would be buildings and stuff. It wouldn't be buildings, it's nothing about buildings.
Totally two different things. But I want you to know.
Is that your interpretation? Or
Here's my interpretation, and I actually thank you for what you recommended last year.
what did I recommend?
You recommended, and I quote, you sat up there and said, it doesn't matter because the redevelopment committee happens to be the mayor and council. So what happened, I know it's probably a long time ago, you don't remember this, but what happened was, what I did was,
I'm just making it up.
I'm definitely not making it up, but anyway, what I did was, I decided to pull a committee just for redevelopment, so they could overlook what a developer likes to do. Once they have accomplished what they like to do in their recommendations, then they bring it to the mayor and council.
So like you were gonna recommend to yourself what you should do?
If that's the way you think, yes.
Well, you're gonna get a committee to recommend to the council.
I'm being entertained right now, so I'm going to entertain every minute of it.
All right, and one last thing, the majority of businesses in town are open past 5 PM. If you look at the businesses, I'm open till 6, the drugstore's open till 7. A lot of the majority of businesses in town are open past 5 PM. And there are a lot of hidden gems in this town. For the Martins, Causeway, Ice Cream, a lot of hidden gems. Maybe some people don't know about them, but there are a lot of hidden gems, and if you need to know some more of them, you can ask me. I'll tell you what the hidden gems are and how long people are open. So, thanks.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Anyone else? Yes.
Barry Grill, 20 Monticello Lane, and about the closing of Collins Avenue. This discussion from last week continued here. Last meeting. One, we didn't get to the police. Worst, the police, how long would it take them in the worst case scenario with the road closed? Worst case scenario is they have to travel 1.2 miles. Anybody want any maps of it? You know, made some maps of it.
No, it's all right.
It's actually where these figures come from. Drew then said something about the fire department that it's 96% that Station 1 handles the fires, most of the fires,
Station 1.
4%. But then if you look at the town, I'm only talking about the 150 houses in Harwich Lane, those houses there. So if you look at the mapping, the topography and the road map, you find that the 4% basically is all in that there south district, that 15 to 20% area where, you know, if being a mathematical, being an engineer, you figure equal thing, but if you look at the 4%, so basically you're saying 25% of the fires are really in that area would be by, some would say that a station would be there first on the scene. And it'll be even faster if Collins Avenue is open. And you came up with 34 seconds that the
Last council meeting.
the ambulance basically said. You better check, just ask them what it is. For the Lord of me, I spent a good hour looking at the map, figuring out different ways and all that. The best I could come up with is 50 seconds difference. They might be right, but 34 seconds, if your life depended on it, if it was your father, your son, your daughter that lived in this area, you wouldn't hesitate, but you could cut that 34 seconds down. Well, same thing with the police. Police will be the first ones there. I admit that most of the police, you know, Collins Avenue, someplace between 5 and 10% that this will benefit. Actually, it's a win-win situation for Collins Avenue and Terry and 4th and 5th Street there. That'd be a win-win situation if this thing's open. Because the police, if they're down in the DPW yard, they could go there a lot faster than going that extra mile around. It saves a minute and a half, 2 minutes. and what the traffic is. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to build it. And I think everybody has to agree that safety is paramount. And the other thing you got to me is you basically said that there was a video of someone going the wrong way, careless driving.
Yeah.
May I ask if this person got a ticket for it?
I got that's for law enforcement.
Well,
But I do know that when we did have this video going, we had two people from Monticello area go up the wrong way and they both got tickets.
well, I met one of them. I mean,
You met one?
yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, regretfully and, you know, the bottom line is, just don't push this problem on some other place in town. I don't think this drive is all there. You know, I mean, and then you talk about children's safety, I think it was. What do you say to the other children if you have equal distribution of school kids all over the neighborhood? What do you say to the people on Constitution, which has more traffic? And Buck Avenue, a lot of people will be traveling on it because it's easier to get through. They have children there. I mean, it's just like pushing stuff off to somebody else. Besides being a service road that desperately needs some clean, because if no clean, it's condensed and it's blocked off on both ends. That's all we do is collecting debris. That's about it. I mean, next time we'll probably be go look for about and then I don't know if those kids are more equal than the other kids, or the people there are more equal than our residents are. I mean, there's 450 plus residents that live in that area, and would be well served better. And I understand the all this problem about cars going the wrong way and all that, and a couple of things. But most of this stuff I think is more like in not in my backyard syndrome. And the only thing that really has is you said it was a service street. I'll take your word for that.
The road wasn't even supposed to be open. So, I mean, it was not supposed to exist.
But then
Somebody got used to the idea that the road existed. It does not exist. The planner shows that it was never supposed to be there. The only reason it was there was because of convenience while they were doing the construction. That's all it was for.
well, maybe you're wrong on that because it was closed on convenience. It wasn't open until after
The road
the
doesn't,
construction.
the road doesn't exist, period. I wanna really go into the conversation, but it's already been ruled that the road's gonna stay closed. Since it's dirty, Paige, if you don't mind, when you get a chance, send some guys up there just to tidy up the place. But the road's not gonna be reopened. Sorry. I really wanna give you that convenience, but I got
It's not convenience, it's safety. I mean, that's paramount.
not even the word safety, because before we even closed down this road, we made it a point to reach out to all public safety, and all of them said, fine, we're fine with us to close it down. So obviously they knew something better than I did.
Well, I don't know how they.
And this is going on for 4 mayors. So this is not even my,
I know, I'm just saying, but, I mean, how can you justify worst case scenario for police? If they're on Terry and Collins Avenue, then they have to get to Collins Avenue and Monticello. They have to go around, that's 1.2 miles.
sir, I understand where I'm really sorry. Seriously, I apologize. But unfortunately, that road doesn't even exist. That's all I have to tell you.
Then why was it built then?
That's right. Why was it built? So when we realized there was a problem, I ended up putting it back to where it was supposed to be, closed. So you were right. Why was it built? So thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Joe Donato, 30 Daly Street, South River. The prior gentleman who was here talking about that, the committee, could you explain to me what that committee is all about? I mean,
So let me explain it to you. So the redevelopment committee, at the beginning of last year, basically consisted of the whole entire council. There was no outsiders, there was no one from the land use board involved. It was more of like, okay, maybe we should pull it away from mayor and council, have one person from the council along with myself one person from the land use board and 2 residents that would chime into the concept of redevelopment in our town. It would only be fair that you're opening it up to somebody rather than just us. Their recommendation now would come before us, and then we would take what the redevelopment committee is suggesting. That's exactly what that is. Now, all the towns are doing that.
Okay, so what you're saying is before it gets to the
So instead of
land use
us-
board, before it gets to even,
Before it even gets to the land use board. That's correct.
to me, now, I've only been doing this for about 40 years, so I could be wrong. But to me, a pre-application meeting is where a lot of that stuff will get hashed out. It's usually with the representatives of the planning board, zoning board. They get
No,
together.
it doesn't get there that fast.
And a pre-application meeting is to discuss the possibility, this is what I'd like to do, discuss what they may or may not be able, what the town may or may not look favorable on, but not where a determination is made so that the committee who's doing the review has no opportunity to have any input.
No, once again, you're wrong. So the redevelopment, when a developer comes before us, okay, the developer will suggest what he wants to do. We will sit down and we'll tell him, hey, maybe you should just change this, or maybe you should move on that. The problem now is you have the people that are voting on it one-sided. So we decided to take it away from the council, give it to 2 people from the council, 1 person from the land use board, and 2 people from the residents. Then it comes to the mayor and council as a redevelopment, right?
Yes, so the mayor and council is still a redevelopment entity. This is an advisory board that redevelopers, potential redevelopers, not redevelopers at the redevelopment entity, the governing body I've already named, and we think of projects going forward, but potential redevelopers, and even ones that we've named, can go before the redevelopment advisory committee and say, this is the project that I want to do. How do you feel about it? They go back and forth. It's like a pre-application meeting, and then they come up with a recommendation. Yes, we think this would be fabulous at this location, or we think this is a great project, but there's too many units. Something along those lines, and then they present that to the governing body as the redevelopment entity, and the governing body then has the authority to name that person as a redeveloper or not, and then approve a project or not. But it's just so that there is more input and transparency in the redevelopment process of the projects that could potentially go up throughout your town.
Okay, no, I understand the concept of what I'd like to be done, but what I'm asking, I guess, and maybe I'm not doing it. So the certain determination is going to be made before it's even put into the application is made to the town.
If I may, I don't think a determination, they don't have the authority. The redevelopment advisory committee doesn't have the authority to make any determinations. The only authority that they have is to make recommendations, and the governing body retains complete control to make decisions on its own. It's more of this is what we would like to see. These are the recommendations that we're going to put forward to you.
So in other words, when the application is officially put forward to the town.
Yes.
Okay, the land use board.
Yes.
They'll review everything, and if for whatever reason they determine that what you'd like to do is not feasible, they can make that determination.
Well,
if they can't make the determination, then I think there's a problem.
Well, I don't believe that they make that determination in redevelopment anyway. The redevelopment project is governed by the redevelopment entity. So if this was a regular land use, and we can talk more about this offline if you're really interested, but if this was a regular land use project, they would make an application to the land use board for their various variances, and the board would then do that. The redevelopment world doesn't work necessarily in that aspect. But what we can do is, if you are more interested in this, we can definitely talk offline, and I can give you all the details. So when the ordinance is up next week and you want to come up and mention whatever your things are during public comment, that's totally fine.
At this particular point.
Got it.
Okay,
Understood.
When I read it, I might be more
Absolutely.
understandable of it, but I just don't want anything to be sort of predetermined.
No.
Because I was at the first meeting of the land use board, and the impression that was given to them, and one of the young representatives questioned it, is there's going to be certain determinations made before that application is submitted, and they don't have the right to review or comment on it. And that is wrong.
I think they have the right to.
Okay, that was the impression I got sitting here in the audience. And that's the impression I got, and it was questioned by the young gentleman who was sitting where you are. And he was told that, well, no, you don't have the ability to make any comments on it. And that was disturbing to me. Now, it may have been a miscommunication, but that's what came out of that very first meeting. So whatever you're going to do, I suggest strongly that it's put down in writing and explained so that way no one is misunderstanding it. You're going to have a developer come in and say, oh, you already determined that, and they're going to fight you tooth and nail.
Well, understood. So I can't comment on what legal advice was given to a different board that I am not a part of. I can only comment on
Understood.
what the redevelopment process is. And the redevelopment process, really the authority of the project lies in the redevelopment entity. And again, like I said, we can talk about this so we can make sure that we're both on the same page. And then if you have comments for the ordinance, absolutely.
That's been published, because I might have missed it in the...
No, it was on for first reading tonight, so it should be published.
It should be published.
Yeah, it was on the website in the agenda packet, but not, it wasn't formally, it hasn't been advertised yet.
But it was with the package, so
Yes,
I've got that, I just haven't gotten that far.
Yeah, yes, it's in
So
the
I'd
packet.
like to read it, and then if
Absolutely.
I have any questions, I'll
You can call me.
reach out.
Yes, absolutely. You have my email too, right? My email, my number. I think it's on the website.
Probably.
I think we have it.
Okay, then, it's my 5 minutes, is it? If it is, I'll just hold everything until next time, but I just wanted to get that was confusing. And like I say, I've been doing this for a while, and that was not the message that go across to the land use board when I was there. Thank you.
Can I add something, Mr. Rowan?
Sure.
So this is really about redevelopment projects and redevelopment zones, not just any general development project, right? So
Yes.
that board isn't dealing with every development project that comes through the town. The redevelopment zones, right, have certain projects, and we are really reaching out to try to be more inclusive with the town, so everyone doesn't think that we just sit here and monopolize everything. So we're getting more input, and they do bring it to us. We do decide on it, but again, it's not every project in town. It's stuff that involves redevelopment zones.
I understand, and that is probably one of the key things in any community where it's gonna have the most impact. And I've seen what has been done in the past, and the public had to spend a lot of money to correct it. The only problem is, they never knew it was created by their own people. So I want to avoid that. And you're talking about millions of dollars worth of corrections, which the public should not have to pay for. So either it's down solid in writing, so there's no misunderstanding, or there's going to be problems. And it's not going to be, while I'm still alive, and probably not wherever you will be still alive, but the rest of us, you too. It's going to be, that's going to be my lifetime at least. But, I worry about the people in the community. And that's why I brought it up, and it should be addressed before that happens.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? First call? Second call?
Make a motion to close public.
Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilwoman Ballas.
All in favor?
Aye. We have one for mayoral appointments, Cultural Arts and Heritage Commission, Sandra De Silva going in as alternate. Alyssa for consent resolutions 2025-188 to 212.
Whereas Resolution 2025-01 authorizes the Borough Council to utilize a consent agenda to adopt various resolutions of a routine and non-controversial nature at one time. Now therefore be it is hereby resolved that the below listed resolutions are hereby adopted by the Borough Council in whole, as if the same were individually acted upon. Consent resolutions 2025-188 to 2025-212. 188, granting renewal to an ABC license for the 24-25 license year. 189, granting renewal to ABC licenses for the 25-26 license year. 190, appoint Thomas Lucas as a firefighter for the South River Fire Department. 191, appointment of James Marin as firefighter to the South River Fire Department. 192, awarding a contract to CMA Associates for professional services. 193, insertion of any special item of revenue in the budget. 194, appointing continuity operations group for grant consulting services. 195, authorizing the lease of photocopying equipment for the Office on Aging. 196, appointment of summer help to the Department of Public Works. 197, approve electric demand charge relief for non-for-profit organizations and public schools. 198, authorizing conditional appointment of James T. Del Grosso as a police officer. 199, awarding a contract to CMA for professional services. 200, authorizing the purchase of a bucket truck. 201, insertion of any special item of revenue in the budget. 202, property tax refund for a total disabled veteran for 156 George Street. 203, property tax refund for a total disabled veteran for 10 Southside Avenue. 204, approval of a special events permit to the VFW for an event that was held on June 22nd, 2025. 205, authorizing the Borough Clerk to waive the special event permit fee for the VFW. 206, authorizing the execution of an agreement with Middlesex County for the South River waterfront. 207, appointment of a crossing guard. 208, authorize certain utility refunds. 209, property tax refund. 210, accept June 2nd, 2025 regular meeting minutes. 211, authorize the bills and claims list. 212, authorizing an award of contract for replacement of HVAC system.
Mayor, if we can we have 211 read separately?
Yes, we can. All right, Councilman, is there a motion from 188 to 212, exception of 211? Motion by Councilwoman Ballas.
Second.
Second by Councilman Krasinski.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes, with the abstention from 188 and 189 in their entirety, and I'll wait on 211 since we're.
Councilman Giannakopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes.
What's the 211?
211, authorize the bills and claims list.
Mayor, I asked to have this read separately on number 25-03314, part of the water project. The company that is doing the test pits, they are not properly paving them, and the streets are very deep in some areas. They did come back and change, fill some of them in, but I feel that they should not be paved until they're completely filled. If a child hits that with a scooter or a bicycle, they can flip over, and some of them are getting deep enough. Art was good enough to call them and have the real bad one filled in on the corner of Division and Whitehead. But having it read separately to have that pulled until they come back and do it. Yeah.
All right, so now if I have a motion to have that pulled, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman DeSantis.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman Giannakopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes, with the abstention of 25-01364, 01729, and 01267.
Council President, was that just for the motion?
That was just for the motion of that.
You're gonna do
Oh, okay,
another vote
sorry.
for the rest of the bills and claims.
Okay.
25-334.
So yes, and
Okay, thank you.
So for the rest of the bill list.
Now we'll go to the rest of the bill list. Do I have a motion for the rest of the bill list?
Motion.
second.
Motion by Councilwoman Ballas, second by Council President Seola.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes, with abstention from number 25-01662.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes, with the abstention of 25-01364, 01729, and 01267.
Now we're gonna go to, council comments. Councilman Janikopoulos? I have nothing more. Councilman DeSantis?
Yes, on Thursday evening, June 14th, there was some pretty big wind damage that came through town. A big tree fell and took down 2 electric poles over on the corner of 4th and New Street. I took a ride up there. Age was there with his team, the roads department, the electric guys, and I never really saw it in action, but they're backing in a truck, they're cutting trees with a chainsaw, they're chipping up wood, they're putting up a new pole. All of the houses besides 2 had their power back within a few hours, and the 2 houses that didn't get restored until the next day, their electric meter was actually ripped from the house. So the contractor had to come in the next morning when it was light out and make sure everything was safe and rehook them back up. Our system was able to isolate those 2 houses for less disruption to the surrounding area. The reason I'm bringing this up is because there seems to be people in town that like to say that the electric utility is not well run or well done, or we always have power out, or we need to get the real people in to fix this kind of stuff. It's not true. I brought this up at a previous meeting that our score with the SAIDI, which is how much you're out of power, is way lower than the metro area in South River. It's not even close. The second part about this is the electric utility. Someone asked a question on Mayor Gindy's favorite vessel out there, Facebook, and social media. The simple question was, with everything going on with the electric, are the South River rates going to go up? As a resident, you're well entitled to have an opinion or post on any of these sites if you wish, but if the answer to that question that you put is yes, and you don't know, why would you answer? So Art went on and said no, because that is the answer. So to those that are asking, the rates are not going up in 2025. We've already said that. So, yeah, and they went down 10% last year. So we decreased by 10% for 2024, and we were flat for 2025. I think it's important that if you're going to put a post on Facebook and answer a question, say yes, I think, or yes, I think I heard that. But if you're going to act definitively, then know the answer, or come ask one of us. I'm more than happy to answer the question for you. I'm also happy to report that as of June of 2025, and this is a published report by the NJPPA, which is the New Jersey Public Power Authority, that at 855 kilowatts per month, which is about the average they put in for their metrics, South Rivers Electric is now officially lower than all 4 investor-owned utilities, which are PSE&G, JCP&L, Rockland Electric, and Atlantic City. So we now have what would be the low electric rates. So again, for those of you that say our electric rates are so high, they're not. This is fact. This isn't an opinion. This is something that I care about. I research it. I work with our team. Art, Joe, we have these discussions. We are doing a great job. The utility is healthy. It runs well. And it's very efficient and does good service. So again, these are factual public reports. I'm not up here stating an opinion. So I don't want to be the know-it-all, but I do like to have answers because I ask these questions, and this is out there, and I'll have a conversation with anyone that would like to have one in person or on the phone and explain where the reports can be read if you want to look at them yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman?
I'd like to thank Gage and your guys. I know you had a long night because Friday, to 15 in the morning. You took care of my neighbor's tree. I went out to watch for a little bit. He sat on his front porch, and he thanked you very much. You did such a great job. The cleanup was wonderful. I know Burton Avenue was the same. You had a couple more big ones down, and you had some on the bridge. So kudos, you guys did a great, great job. We won't be meeting until after 4th of July, so happy 4th of July. Beware of all the lovely fireworks that people will be shooting off, so everybody chain up your dogs, because that's a one night. The dogs are going to get loose. Beware of the fireworks and the fallout. There have been a couple of occasions where houses' porches have gotten they caught on fire, the fire department had to go out. You know as well as anybody, and so does Tony and the mayor, be very, very careful. We don't want any injuries. So enjoy your 4th of July and just be safe. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Krasinski.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank all of our public service workers, our police, our fire department. The response that they did the other day was phenomenal between the other townships, between Cedarville and East Brunswick, at the top of Wilcox Street there. Also the DPW on the cleanup on the little squall that came through town and the power outage. Like I said, the guys were right there. They did a phenomenal job. And it's warm. Be careful. Be aware of your neighbors. Make sure that they're okay. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you.
Council President.
Thank you. Again, just to reiterate, 4th of July coming up. Please, if you're shooting off bottle rockets, Roman candles, whatever, it's happened in the past. Houses have caught fire. Be very careful. You shouldn't be sending any of these fireworks in the air in residential areas because they do cause houses to burn. And with this weather, you don't want to be outside in this heat trying to put out a fire. Fire pits in the backyard, any open burning is illegal. You cannot have any type of open burning in your yard. So please refrain from that. The borough also has a no-knock ordinance. What this ordinance is, you register at the clerk's office, you get a sticker for your door, and no solicitors can come and knock on your door telling you need a new roof, need new windows, whatever. It's illegal at that point. So if you do have a register, you do have a decal, and somebody knocks on your door, call the police immediately. The police will take care of it. They've done it in the past with a lot of residents, especially down in the new area. Everybody needs new windows and roofs down there. So that's it. So register with the no-knock ordinance at our clerk's office at 48 Washington. Careful with the heat. The heat's going to be extreme for the next couple days. So please be aware of it. Drink plenty of fluids. Age, again, I said it the other day to you. Thank all the guys for a great job they did. It was phenomenal. And I don't care what anybody says, our guys are the best. Through and through, no questions asked. And happy 4th of July.
Thank you. All right, so a couple days ago I received a letter from Mr. Dominicki right here on John Street. See me, you'll appreciate this. My property and several others in the neighborhood were the subject of much needed rainwater drainage project, milling of the old roadway and laying of the new asphalt roadway. While watching the project, I observed the working crew of the local contractor, Jade's Construction, who complemented one another in their work, which was well coordinated and showed professional work ethic. Corporate supervision was there every day and responded to all inquiries. The day after the new asphalt roadway was laid, the crew from Jade's came by to clean off any asphalt on the grass and curb area of the properties opened, any rainwater roof drains that may have been blocked by the laid asphalt. My compliments to the borough for hiring the local contractor, Jade's Construction, the hard work crew of Jade's and the engineering firm of CME who designed and oversaw the project. Well done. Please let your crew know that. This Thursday, June 26th at the Mar from 9 to 12, I have the county coming in with 5 speakers. It's called the Business Resources for Success. This is for businesses. Please come down, listen to what they have to say. They have lots of programs that can help businesses throughout this town. I also like to congratulate the class of 2025. It's extremely hot outside. Please check on your elderly, check on your neighbors. Please stay cool. And happy 4th of July. At this moment, we will be going to executive session. There's nothing that we voted on. You may sit here if you like. We will be in private. Alyssa, 2025-2013.
2025-213, whereas Section 8 of Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, permits the exclusion of the general public from a meeting of the governing body under certain circumstances. And whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of South River are of the opinion such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it is hereby resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of South River, the county of Middlesex, state of New Jersey, that the public be excluded upon the hereinafter specific subject matter, and that such subject matter to be discussed is as follows: litigation, attorney-client privilege, and contract negotiations. Be it further resolved that such record of the above discussion may be made public when confidentiality is no longer required. The Borough Council of the Borough of South River may or may not take formal action at the conclusion of the executive session.
Motion by Councilwoman Ballas. Second by Councilman Krasinski.
Councilman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos? Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.